December was a particularly strong month for job creation in manufacturing in this country. The sector added a remarkable 65,700 new positions. One of the companies planning to double its headcount within the next year is Burlington, Ontario-based Memex Automation. David McPhail is the president and CEO, and he joins us here in studio. Good to have you with us.
Thanks very much.
That's a remarkable plan to say, let's multiply our headcount. But before we get into that, let's talk about Memex and
Sure.
what it is you do. You're in basically the automation business.
Yes.
There was a time when it was just electronic circuit boards, and now your gear talks to the internet.
Yeah. It's an interesting time, actually. We manufacture a suite of hardware and software products that connect the shop floor to the top floor in real time and measure overall equipment effectiveness, or OEE, which is unified universal worldwide product standard metric for defining how efficient manufacturing works.
This is an auto industry thing, or do you expand beyond auto?
We do automotive, we do food and bev, we do aerospace predominantly right now.
So I guess the big leap with the internet involvement is that you, as you say, you can talk to the shop floor from the
Right.
top floor of the company, whereas before it used to be just all about getting the sales guys to find out what's being bought and sold.
Well, it's a lot of companies have data collection systems. We call them sneakernet. So that's guys with clipboards and shop floor and pencils.
Right.
And it's a really subjective data collection methodology, whereas we bring objectivity to the data collection methodology by measuring it in real time.
And this is a productivity-enhancing tool. That's, I guess, your sales guys, when they go out to talk to companies about buying your gear, that's the whole idea. You get that company more productive.
Absolutely, and there's demonstrable results associated with the adoption of our technology.
How so?
Give you one example. A $100 million a year company with a 10% EBITDA, so $10 million of net profit, or profit before income tax and depreciation. If they adopt OE and make a marginal increase of 6%, they will achieve a 60% increase in EBITDA. And now those are proven numbers.
It's interesting, though, that from what I understand, you're selling, of what you sell outside of Canada, the majority of it goes to the United States.
That's
Not
true.
so much the Chinese, though.
No, and there's a reason for that. There's two, in my opinion. Number one, they're not signatory to IP protection treaties, and companies like ours spend a phenomenal amount of money in research and development and in innovative development of our products.
So you're worried about them reverse engineering your gear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's the other reason?
I'm pretty stoic. I'm Canadian. I'm born here, and I'd like to keep the jobs here. So I'd like to make Canadian manufacturers and North American manufacturers more efficient before I help the Chinese manufacturers become more efficient.
What about the other issue of the labor costs? I can imagine in China they're remarkably low compared to pretty much everywhere else in the world.
It's cents on the dollar per hour in China.
So they're not worried about productivity to the same degree?
No, that's absolutely right. I would just throw another body at it, basically.
How exposed to the U.S. are you, largely?
About 70% right now of our sales are come from south of the border.
How do you feel about what's going on in the States right now?
I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged with the increase in jobs. I'm encouraged with we're getting a lot of activity, a lot of inquiry in the U.S.
From what sectors?
Automotive and also aerospace.
Okay, so when you decide that you need to double your head count this year, what's the thought process behind it?
Our product is an application-based software product that has an application layer, and so we need to make sure that we have enough headcount to support our customers and our sales volume.
So this is customer support and, I suppose, R&D?
R&D. If you have to continue to develop the next greatest product, okay, and you have to respond to your customers. The more customers you have, the more great ideas come forward, and it's our job to determine which one of those make to market.
So what goes into the thought process behind deciding whether or not you're going to put somebody on the sales line versus somebody on the R&D line?
We spend 2 to 1 on sales right now,
Okay.
and we're in our commercialization phase of our product. When we were in the R&D phase of our primary product, we were the other way around. It was 2 to 1 engineering over sales, and that paradigm has shifted now.
And that will give you the momentum you need to remain competitive as you sell the existing product.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're not a publicly traded company, not yet.
Not yet.
So what would it take for you to say, let's go to Bay Street?
We've tried to do this a little differently. Rather than raise capital and develop product, we want to develop the product, generate the organic capital, and then go to Bay Street with a more compelling argument. We think the valuation would be higher.
What about a debt load scenario? You guys don't need the money?
We're organically financed at the moment. There's a group of shareholders that were private equity investors, and so far it's been our private money that's funded the business thus far.
Tell me about that. You know, through 2007, 8, and then 9 as well, there have been a remarkable shift in the amount of money that private investors are willing to shell out. What's that environment like for you now?
You have to prove results. You have to have results. There's no easy money anymore. Nobody buys vaporware. So they want to buy a product that works. They want to buy it from a reputable company. And so you have to develop all that ahead of time before you actually even go to market in a commercialization scenario.
Well, all the best to you, David. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks very much.
David McPhail has been our guest, President and CEO of Memex Automation.